obviously you've got a lot of players that were hoping to feature, or maybe still are hoping to feature in the World Cup at the end of the year. How much a blow is that news that's come this morning, do you feel?
Yeah, obviously I've only just seen it and been sort of made aware of it. I think without knowing or reading any of the press statements or the background, I'm sure in the current climate we can all understand the question marks around it all. I'm unaware of the intricacies and what were planned in terms of quarantines and bubbles that they would have to work in. But clearly the situation in Australia, particularly around Sydney at the moment, that's teetering. They're getting more and more cases every day. Their players are in a bubble for the rest of the season, and to come away and spend the rest of the season in another one. I can understand why the whole tournament has got some concerns and question marks around it. I would just say, for the game, it's pretty disappointing.
What about this week? The 19's probably as strong as you've been able to name for quite some time. What sort of decisions are you weighing up ahead of this?
A few. A few. Yeah. We sort of same rhetoric every week, really, James. We're not going to be without some changes. We've certainly got some welcome additions returning, and I think the biggest welcome addition and return is the return of the crowd. And I know it's been great having 4,000 in, but hopefully we can get a 10,000 plus crowd in and create a wonderful atmosphere. I think that's regardless of the players that we've coming back. I think the big thing coming back this week is the fans, mate, and I think it'd make for a wonderful emotional occasion again. From a team perspective, we'll wait and see tomorrow night, James. Obviously, we have got some guys coming back. How we make our lineup, we'll wait and see.
How much have you missed that big match atmosphere there?
I've missed it, but I'm very focused on game day anyway on the team. I think more than anything, the players have missed it, mate. And I've said this many, many times before. Our crowd has always played a wonderful part for us in good times and bad times, and there's no better place to play on a Friday night, in my opinion, in World Rugby League than Headingley.
I've seen something, Cruz, with the way he was injured initially, wasn't he? He's not actually, won't have played in front of such a large crowd at Headingley, which is remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So there's some real anticipation among our guys and excitement that they're going to get that opportunity again.
What about the opposition? It was a pretty feisty affair, wasn't it, last time out with the yellows and the reds? Do you expect any sort of hangover from that?
No, not really, because I think discipline is something that we've talked about. We gave 11 penalties away last week, a number of them for high shots, which were, I won't say malicious, James, but whether it were born out of fatigue or poor technique or what we felt defensively a lot last week. We didn't lack effort, but we were working alone, defensively. It's the ultimate team discipline, really. And while I think I said this last week, we lack some composure, we lack some discipline, and we just stopped doing things together. And I think that's important for us this week, that our discipline is on the mark. The number of penalties we have comes down. We're working together, and we've been a little bit more disciplined in areas like with the ball as well. We're making too many silly errors at the moment from an energy perspective. So I'm definitely not looking at Salford. I think we've learned our lessons there. We had guys suspended that really hurt our team because of that game. And obviously we lost some head knocks as well from that, and we simply can't do that. So that's a big, that is a focus and an area of improvement for us this week, regardless of who we're playing. So it's not anything that we've actually talked about or coming up against Salford because of what happened last time. That's not been part of our planning, James. It's more about getting our own ends right.
And they have scored nearly 100 points, haven't they, in 2 games? How big a threat will they be?
Well, on the back of 2 wins, you'd expect it to give them a shot in the arm confidence-wise from a team that probably had been struggling a little bit. In perspective, they played a Castleford team that were missing plenty of players. I thought they had a really good, solid win out last time against Wakefield. But no doubt it's given their confidence a boost. They've got a couple of players coming back. Dan Sargentson, I think is a very, very good player for them. They've got a new halfback coming in, so there's an element of unknown if Ngannou plays or not. We've not got a lot of footage and vision on him, so there's a little bit of unknown about their lineup. So we need to get a good performance out there. It'd be wonderful to do it for our fans, James.
I was going to ask you about Hingano. What has that footage shown up on him, and what sort of impact would you expect him to have if this is indeed his first game?
Well, we're not sure, James. So again, our preparation during the week, we have some guys in our team that have played with him, so we had some feedback on that. But given they've had 2 wins, we're trying to predict their lineup. Will they keep the same lineup on the back of 2 good wins, or will they make changes? We don't know. So the bulk of our preparation really is looking at Salford's style and again taking care of some of the individuals, particularly the guys that can get them out of yardage. Rhys Williams and Kenny Seal do a great job for them. But I keep reiterating that discipline-wise for us, doing things together and cutting out some of these penalties is very, very important. And we feel if we do that, we'll get enough stability in his defensive line, regardless of whoever's in the key positions.
Just finally for me, obviously the Caesar deal's now been confirmed. How significant a move do you feel that is for next year?
Yeah, good. Obviously, Rob Louis is leaving, so we wanted to replace Rob with a top line halfback, and we think we've done that. And I think Aidan's played really, really well for Huddersfield for a couple of years. He's versatile, whether he plays left or right. He's played left or rear, but he played the bulk of his time at Canberra, going all the way to the grand final as a right edge player. He's an added goal kicker. He's a guy that plays with a lot of composure and control about him. And he were really, really keen to join us. So yeah, we're happy to get that one in the bag, and I think that leaves us in a pretty strong position, for next year with whatever recruiting or in particular retention that we've got to do.
Injury-wise, where are you at now? It seems weird to think that there's not too many, albeit I'm sure in real terms there probably is quite a lot.
We've still got some COVID issues, track and trace issues, ongoing. Mickey's back in the squad this week. Good question. Yeah, Zane will probably be another week. Next week we're hoping to get Zane back for. Longer term ones, I'm trying to think. Alex Sutcliffe, probably not too far away. Who else we're thinking, Matt? I'm trying to... Rob Louis, probably, a couple of weeks.
Bodine Thompson?
Bodine's suspended.
No, of course, yeah.
3 weeks. But he's a guy under some COVID stuff as well at the moment, so he won't be available. I think that's the bulk of it. Jack Broadbent is a longer term one. Jack Walker is a longer term one. That covered a fair few off there, I think, has it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I should have that written down in front of me, Matt.
No, it's fine.
The combination, Matt, the combination of suspensions, injuries, and we like most clubs, mate, we have still got some ongoing COVID bits.
The thing I wanted to ask you was about COVID. I know that you asked about this a lot, but there are 3 Super League games called off this week. There are 17 fixtures between Super League and League One. 7 of them have been called off.
Yeah.
Is there a solution, and what do you think the solution is? Is there any way around this, or have we got to accept as a sport that we're in for a pretty grim period in terms of cancellations and rearrangements?
Well, I'm not sure I'm the right person to be answering that. It could be quite frivolous and say, well, let's stop testing. But that might not be, from a medical perspective, that might be highly irresponsible to do that. The answer is I'm not too sure. I think in the short term, we have to accept that there's going to be some disruption, and it's going to play its part in the competition this year. It already has done. We feel it already has for us. We've had 2 shutdowns, games postponed, congested fixture list. It plays a massive part, and I think all we can hope for is that the data keeps going the right way, the inoculations work, and we get to a point come the start of next season where it's a clearer picture for a full season. But I think we're probably going to have to accept that over the next 2 months, there's still going to be 2 to 3 months. There's still going to be plenty of issues, and it's going to have its say in the competition.
I know this is a somewhat hypothetical, but if the World Cup doesn't go ahead, would you be in favour of extending the season to get more fixtures in, or is that a case of kicking the can down the road for the year after?
Depends when we start, and if you sort of what your start point is for next year, you know, what we're shaving off the pre-season. My first reaction is it's worth a discussion, I would guess. You know, I certainly think for the clubs that want revenues and for the parity of the fixture list, it is probably worth a discussion.